Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a total masterclass on using Caffeine AI to build decentralized applications directly on the Internet Computer Protocol, or ICP blockchain, and doing it all without writing a single line of code. Look, if you've ever wanted to launch a Web3 platform but felt completely locked out by those steep coding requirements, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to see how complex blockchain development is literally turning into a simple chat conversation. Let's get into it. Here's our roadmap for today. First, meet Caffeine AI. Second, mastering your first prompt. Third, debugging like a pro. Fourth, domains and economics. And finally, Section 5, the app marketplace. All right, Section 1, meet Caffeine AI, building by chatting. To really grasp what we're dealing with here, you have to understand the sheer massive range of this tool. You can build something as straightforward as a highly effective basic booking page using essentially one prompt and about 50 credits. Easy, right? But then things can get absolutely wild. You can scale all the way up to a complex platform that seamlessly handles crypto swaps to stablecoins, complete with robust user profiles and heavy administrative dashboards. Now, that kind of advanced build took over 150 credits and more than 70 iterations. But the main takeaway? Caffeine AI scales directly to your ambition, whether you just need a simple digital business card or the whole Web3 portal shebang. Moving right along to Section 2, mastering your first prompt. So, if you want to dodge spaghetti code and painfully slow load times, you've got to treat Caffeine AI exactly like an incredibly enthusiastic but very literal junior developer. You do this through a specific 3-step prompting workflow. First off, visualize the app in deep detail. Picture every single button and function in your head, put it all into sharp focus. Second, and honestly, this is a massive pro move, dictate all those rambling ideas into ChatGPT or Gemini first. Let that AI organize your scattered thoughts into a structured blueprint. Then, step 3, feed that highly refined output directly into Caffeine AI as your single massive initial prompt. The difference between these two approaches is, frankly, night and day. If you just dictate sloppily straight into Caffeine AI, the AI has to guess at your structural intentions. And you know what guessing leads to? Heavy load times, broken features, and bugs. Lots of them. But when you use that refined intermediary prompt from ChatGPT, you're handing over a crystal clear blueprint. It drastically speeds up the whole generation process and literally saves you from days of frustrating iterative bug fixing down the line. Okay, let's hit Section 3, debugging like a pro. Even with the perfect prompt, things will look weird sometimes. When they do, you physically have to show the AI its mistakes, because Caffeine AI is incredibly responsive to visual inputs. Layout upside down, clip a screenshot, paste it right into the chat. Site feels sluggish, run a Google PageSpeed test, grab a screenshot of that terrible low score, and demand optimizations. Also, absolutely do not skip performing intermittent security audits right there in the chat to catch vulnerabilities early. And above all, be persistently repetitive. Sometimes the AI will swear it fixed a layout issue, and it just didn't. Don't let it off the hook. Paste the screenshot again and tell it to try harder. Now, to debug like an actual pro, you need a quick grasp of the underlying plumbing here. When you build on Caffeine AI, you're building on the ICP blockchain using a canister. Think of this canister as your back-end smart contract engine. So if your previously perfect app just suddenly breaks out of nowhere, don't panic. It highly likely means your canister simply ran out of computation cycles. It just needs a quick top-up of those cycles to get right back online. When you're hunting down those pesky issues, remember, patience is a hard requirement. After you hit publish, give the live canisters a few minutes to actually process the upgrade before you assume a new feature is totally busted. Also, a quick heads up on draft URLs. If you're testing user profiles on a draft preview link, that data is not going to save to your live site. Finally, don't over-engineer. Slapping on internet identity sign-ins is amazing for Web3 security, for sure, but it will severely drag down the speed of a simple one-page landing site. Keep the architecture as simple as the app allows. Which brings us to Section 4, domains and economics. This brings up a pretty blunt but highly practical but highly valuable piece of advice from the source material regarding how you present your final product. The bottom line is, if you're building a serious Web3 business, presentation is absolutely everything. To actually pull that off, you have to ditch that default, unprofessional XYZ domain they give you out of the box. First, go purchase a custom top-level domain. Then, route your DNS professionally through a service like Cloudflare. You're going to set up a CNAME record connecting to Caffeine, but, and this is absolutely crucial, you also need to configure a 301 permanent redirect rule. That ensures your traffic smoothly hits your custom domain without a single hitch. So, to support that slick custom domain setup, you'll need to upgrade to the starter plan, which is $29 a month. This is the recommended tier because it gives you the base features you need, but more importantly, it provides plenty of base credits. You're going to need those for the heavy, trial-and-error prompting that advanced application builds demand. But check out the incredible economics of the ICP blockchain once you're actually live. In our source material, after an app was published, handled hundreds of human users, and went through massive repeated backend testing, the total canister computing cost that drained away was effectively just $5. $5. Yes, you pay a bit upfront for the AI prompting to build it, but the actual decentralized hosting and computing power on the blockchain? Astonishingly cheap. Okay, but let's be real for a second. What if you're burning through all your prompt credits, you're banging your head against the keyboard, and you simply cannot get your complex backend vision to work? What if your grand idea is just a bit too massive to build from a totally blank slate? That brings us perfectly to our final stop, Section 5, the app marketplace. Instead of wrestling with a blank canvas, just jump straight into the Caffeine AI app marketplace. You can literally clone a working, pre-built application. We're talking functioning flashcard apps, family organizers, even basic dating apps. You just click Remix and tell the AI to modify that existing, functioning code to fit your specific brand. It's a huge shortcut. And the best part? Once you master this platform yourself, you can publish your own finished apps right back to this exact marketplace. It's a killer way to start attracting a real user base and show off those new Web3 skills. Well, we've covered the complete workflow today, from refining that crucial first prompt with ChatGPT to debugging visually with screenshots, managing your canister economics, and leveraging the app marketplace. You now have the full blueprint to launch Web3 applications without knowing a single line of code. Which leaves you with one final question to consider before you open up Caffeine AI today. What will you build when coding is just a conversation?